Alexis.
Bye, Jay.
8:00 a.m. It's go, go, go.
It's 2019, and everyone has different ideas on what makes a good educational environment great. Some think it lies in better facilities, while others think greatness lies in training administrators and teachers. Others believe digital initiatives are the answer. But I think the answer actually lies with the young men and women who sit in our classrooms each day. In order to find this answer, I think we actually have to look at the students and experience a day in their shoes, walk their walk, if you will. Luckily, there were several like-minded teachers at my school who were graciously willing to give up an entire day. They followed the students from class to class and completed their daily activities and schedule. If a student took a test, they took a test. If a student wasn't allowed to eat or drink, they weren't allowed to eat or drink. There were all kinds of insights gathered from this day, and I think that these educators might together have compiled the secret sauce for what really makes good education great.
The cell phone rule, that was definitely a struggle. Not constantly, but like every now and then I'd look over there and like, could I maybe convince the teacher to let me have my cell phone since I am a teacher? Because I wanted to check emails, or I wanted to check Twitter. I wanted to see if my wife had texted me or anything like that.
I can say that my journey started last night, getting, the kids down to bed, and all of a sudden this random thought pops in my head of, what am I going to wear tomorrow? And I'm like, what is wrong with me?
So the first two classes I had, we actually had tests, and so that's why I sat still for a long time. The first one I did okay with because I actually knew the subject matter, which was literature, and it was about Lord of the Rings. And then the second one, it was about logarithms and calculus, and basically I kept asking the teacher to come help me because I didn't know how to put things to a calculator. I didn't know how this works out, how to compute this. Mm-hmm. So she helped out a lot. I think I made a better grade on the lit test than I did the math test.
So my mind went from chemistry to English to pre-calculus, all before lunchtime. It was a lot. It was a lot. But taking the time to sit in their shoes and, I kind of get to manage my time right now in my real life job. So if I choose to spend 20 minutes talking to a coworker about their weekend, then I can remanage my time to make sure that I get all my work done. In a student or teaching job, it's not that way. Your schedule is dictated by the day, and so, it's a pro where obviously you don't get distracted, but I think it's a con where you don't have an opportunity if there is something else going on outside of just your normal routine, kind of just to talk about that and breathe a little bit, because it is so structured and so rigorous.
It is.
So I can see that really being a challenge for students and teachers, that would be really hard.
Yeah, it gave me a different appreciation for what they go experience, and it's making me think about, okay, what do I need to change about the way I teach, knowing that they are sitting there for so long.
The presentations, I think I really like to see somebody give a presentation and what they took from, whether it's a book or a math problem or whatever. I mean, just different things that seeing your peers present to me. I know it's harder for some people than it is others.
Yeah.
But seeing what they take, because we all take different components we can all read the same piece of paper and take 12 different components from it. That resonates really well with me. So presentations and I think interactive activities.
So the secret sauce is this. Let's think of our students first when we're planning lessons, classes, and curriculum. This isn't some new, fangled, or crazy idea, but it's something that the students at HPCA, at least, get really excited about.
But I love writing, I love history, I love not arguing, but discussing with different topics with different people. Science, I love too, because I get to discover things. I'm really more of a discovery person. I like to explore different aspects of different things.
I like stories that relate to the whatever they're going to begin to talk about. So if they start off with a story that gets your mind, Mrs. Bryant does that a lot. Because it's hard to explain chemistry stuff because you can't see it. So she'll use a sports illustration or stuff where we can really get what she's saying. And then she's like, well, that's what the electrons do and they do this. Because otherwise you would not know what she was talking about. I'm really visual. And so lectures sometimes lose me unless I'm taking notes. So me writing stuff down helps me to understand what's going on, or just Mr. Oates is always really good about showing every single step, why you did this. And so that's why he's big on showing work, because then that helps him see what you did. And it was just always cool because then I could learn to point out those mistakes myself.
Have a good lunch.
You too.
It's kind of interesting because one of those things where it's fish probably don't know they're swimming in water, so I don't really know what the culture of HPCA is like from inside of it. But I mean, a lot of people, so a lot of the same thing. A lot of people do sports. A lot of the people are overachievers, and everyone performs usually to the best of their ability. But at least for this class, we all get along together, so it's a lot of fun being in the class of 2020.